I ended up working game stalls, carny, if you want to call it carny. I was palming things into something before I'd even seen a magic trick. Yeah, my career path was a little strange. It is carny, that is the real truth, but I wasn't moving around, Paul. It was a stationary thing in Blackpool at all times, so I wasn't a traveller, but I did work carny games. I liked trap games a lot. I don't know if the people at home know what a trap game is, but a trap game is exactly what it says. It's a trap game. You're trapped once you're so much dealt into the game to continue. They think they're going to get something amazing, and obviously it's not going to happen. There's 2 or 3 very, very well-known games. The Raz is the game, really called Razzle Dazzle. Well, really actually called Havana. Cuban Bingo is its real name. It was designed in 1952 or 53 in Havana, and it went into the casinos in Havana as a con game, as a trap game. Well, they're called numbers games. They're slightly different again. Numbers games, trap games, they're all slightly different. And I didn't do that at first. I did regulation darts, you know, where you throw in things for prizes, and all you're really doing there is how much money they've spent to what you're going to give them. They never get that value. Then I met a guy, we'll leave his name out for now, but I met a guy who said, you know, you can do different games. And I think I once mentioned this before to you. I had 2 games. My father had one and his friend had the other. I ended up owning all 4. And there was one called, again, I'm going to try and translate this so worldwide they could understand, but it was called Premiership Ticket. So it was a football, you had a big basket of raffle tickets that you opened, and they had football teams in. If you picked a Premiership team, you won a prize. If you got 3, you won the big prize. Those tickets are not really in there. They're trap games. You're adding the ticket. I mean, it's weird how magic, I was palming things into something before I'd even seen a magic trick. And then they win once or twice and can never win. That's the trap. And then I went to pool, where you shoot pool and you have to knock a coin out of a circle or knock a golf tee down. Then somehow I got involved in Razzle Dazzle, the Raz. Without doubt the most effective for money-wise. I mean, it is an out-and-out con game. Even to win without cheating is about 1,000 to 1, if I remember rightly. It's just to hit the numbers by hallelujah luck. You know, without the guy miscounting, misleading the numbers, it's very unlikely you're going to win. The Raz is a game with normally 8 balls or marbles that are rolled into 120 slots. Those slots have numbers. If you add those numbers, you've got something behind you that tells you what number. You quickly know the numbers. Within a month, you know the numbers. They'll miscall the numbers again to trap you, and you're trying to score 10 points. In America, you know, it was always 10 yards. I don't know if you know that. It was 10 yards, and they sold it as an American football game. But that doesn't even exist in England. You were just trying to score 10 points. If you got the 10 points, you won the big trip to Hawaii or whatever. That's never, ever going to happen. And then you could land on where it'd say double down, double your bet. Now, where we were, Paul, you weren't allowed officially to gamble. Everything was prizes. So it'd say, you've won a teddy bear, you've won this. But once you spotted the mark, had money, you quickly say, you know, we don't have to play for a teddy bear. If you want to play for 20 bucks or 30 or a 15, and that's what the Raz is. It's an out-and-out con game, but I like the Raz a lot. A mock auction is literally what it sounds. It's a mock auction. It's not real. There's some guy at the front, and he's saying, we're going to bid today, and it's a small room. We're going to bid today on, I don't know, this television, and the first £15 gets it, and 300 hands go up, and obviously the one who gets it's always a guy working for him, all right? And he gets a TV and he gets this and he gets this. And eventually the old scam, which was always in Blackpool, was who will give me £50 for what's in this box, okay? Now what's in the, because they've seen 15 great things, I know you think, no way, I swear there's, people are run by greed, right, Paul? All the hands go up, I'll take it, I'll take it, I'll take it. And when you open this box, of course the doors are closed, I forgot to mention that, all the doors are closed, you're trapped in, okay, then they let you out, there's normally 3 or 4 minders in there, bouncers, it's a serious business that, you know, some guy opens a box and he's got a rubber and a pencil for 50, he's not happy, right? Yeah, there was a lot of those in Blackpool, they were run by 2 families, and the weirdest thing of all is one of the families were the Masons. How weird is that? But nothing to do with me. I once went to get a passport renewed in Liverpool. I go in there, I give them all the thing, they sit me in some room, they leave my wife, but sit me in some room. Then 2 guys come in and they start asking, and it all turns out that this family are in Crown Court in Liverpool, and I'm trying to renew this thing, and I live just down the road from them. And it's quite weird because sometimes I'd book a restaurant in Blackpool and I'd say my name, and when I got there I had the best table, the best and I'm going, this is the best thing, right? And that was absolutely nothing to do with me at all. But the Lears and the Masons ran them all, so. But they were a tough job, you know. But those auction guys are really good at the job. I mean, they're brilliant at the job. I think it is a dishonest life. You know, it's easy to sit here and say, well, it's not, but it is. You know when that person comes up and you know you're going to do your best to get everything you can. What kind of happens, though, is you don't realise it's expected of you. I started on the rides, okay? They're called ride jockeys, okay? If you work on the rides, the term midway comes from the middle of the fair. Midway, where the rides are, all right? Midway. So I worked on the rides. You haven't been on there 10 minutes, Paul, when some guys pulled you to one side and said, this is what we do. This is how it's done. We never give change out until the dodgems are moving. We show them 5 coins and we turn them. It's called turning. And you're going to hold one back and give them 4 coins. When they complain, you must have dropped it. The ride was moving, I'm sorry. You're taken to one side and told that, all right? You're not got a choice. You're not going to not be doing it because these other guys are doing it. So is that an excuse, Paul? No, it's not. No, you know you're giving the guy 40 pence instead of 50. Yeah, you know he can't knock the pool ball. You know, so sure, it is kind of a dishonest lifestyle, and you do know that you're going to get them right down to, for especially the Raz. I mean, the Raz leaves. It's a fearless game, really. After a month, you don't go home feeling sorry anymore. It's just what you do. Especially there's something called the send. When you send somebody, they've got no money left. They still have won nothing, and you send them to get more money from somewhere, all right? That could be an ATM machine, a friend, a borrow, knowing full well they're coming back and you're going to take that as well. So is that an honest game? No, it's not, but I have to admit, I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because in this game, I kind of have come a full circle in the magic game, and I would never want anyone to be upset or think, man, this guy sold me these 2 things. So I do try and give them value for money and look after all the customers. But you are dealt in that game pretty quickly. You don't even realise, and before you know it, you've been doing it a year, you're getting pretty good at it, and all of a sudden you're in there. But yeah, it is a little dishonest. Yeah, I pitched everything, yeah. Selling pretty much, yeah. I've, let me see what they might know here. The chopper, the vegetable chopper and the slicer and the dicer. I pitched towels for 2 years. That was my favourite pitch. Still probably today, my favourite pitch of all time was towels. I know you go, towels. But we'd build a big crowd and we'd buy towels wholesale, and you got the bath towel and the small towel and this, and if you do this today, we're going to give you, and it matches your colour of your thing, and this goes with your bathroom. And they were £10 a set, and even back in the 80s, £10 a set, and you ended up with 6 towels and a free gift and a whatever, and we'd bring them all in. I don't know, they cost a couple of pounds from Stoke. We used to drive down to Stoke, buy these sets of towels, fill a little van up, and so I used to love pitching them. I pitched them a lot. You know, pretty much pitching is pitching once you've understand your pitch and how you're going to build the crowd and the tip and who's going to be moved to where. I still do it in Magic. I move people, and I'll get some kid to hold something so his mum and dad can't leave if I notice he's got a nice watch or a nice, you know, so I'm trying to hold the tip all the time. In this game, yes, that definitely, you're going to see everyone again. You've no choice. They're all coming again. You end up knowing everyone, having a drink in the bar. The difference with tourists is you're never going to see them again, okay? Now, does that make it right? No, obviously not, but you know you're never going to see them again. I know guys who literally always leave them a few bucks. They'd never take the last burger and the last... me, no, I took everything I could get. If it was to be got, I got everything I could get. You know, I'd actually try and see in the wallet, which we call peeking. How weird is that? That's called a peek. And all these little magic things, and I try and get everything I could get. I could sit here and lie. Do you want me to lie? You don't want me to lie, right? My job was to try and get, I was on a 50% split because I didn't own those joints. So hey, I mean, I can remember having guys for 700, 800 in the 80s, pounds, $1,200, $1,500, going away, coming back from a bank with more money. It's just a way of life. You get involved very quickly, and it just becomes, and then the money is the rush, right? Where do I make £400 in a day? You know, I'm some kid with no education. Just before that, I was living in the streets. I was homeless. I lived on the streets. It doesn't seem such a terrible thing when you've lived on the streets to figure out how to make some extra money.